Hello Stitchy friends, how are you? My name is Sally, also known as Flossie Sews and Grows on here, YouTube and on Instagram. Welcome to Flosstube number 51. It is Friday the 24th of January and you're very welcome joining me in very windy Wales. So we are due another storm. It actually looks lovely out there at the moment. The sun's out and it looks really bright, but it's windy and you might be able to hear it howling away in the background. So just hope that we don't see too much damage over this weekend. I think I've already seen on Instagram there was, I think, Northumberland Sampler House, she's got no electricity already, but she was quite happy because she was getting a chance to stitch. So yeah, I just hope that we don't see any fallen trees or damage or anything like that. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're a regular visitor, welcome back. If you're a new subscriber, you're very welcome. It's great to have you here, and I really hope you enjoy listening to me chat away about my cross stitch. If you haven't yet subscribed and you enjoy hearing what I waffle on about, it would be great if you could subscribe. It just notifies you when I've got a new floss tube up, and it just helps me know that, you know, the content I'm providing to you out there is going down well and you're enjoying it. So lots of stitching over the last 2 weeks. It is 2 weeks since I last saw you. I think on my last floss tube I was a little bit, I couldn't decide whether to film every week or keep up with my every 2 week schedule. And I think I also was a little bit, I just need to slow down and just perhaps just take a bit of time to kind of have a bit of me time and or kind of put myself first, maybe. Just life can be just really hectic, and there are a few things in the last couple of months that I've kind of stepped away from, or I've stopped doing, just to give me a little bit more time, I think, to spend with Felicity. You know, she's young, but she won't be living at home forever, and you know, really got to cherish that time, and just to enjoy not rushing around quite so much. So I think I'm probably going to stick with the 2 week schedule, just because it does work better for me, I think. But you know, in between, it also does give me quite a reasonable amount of stitching time. So you know, I have been up to quite a bit. So I first of all have a start and finish, and actually this got fully finished, and this was a little gift that I made for my friend Emma. I'm going to pop a picture up here because I'd finished it actually the last time I spoke to you, but it hadn't been received, so I couldn't actually show it until Emma had received it. So this is a little present I made for my friend, who is Emma S Stitches, and it was Emma's 50th earlier this month. And this is a little freebie chart that Yasmin's Made with Love used to send out when you ordered something from her. She'd send you a little thank you card with this stitch on it. And actually I've got two of these. I've got this is the actual, that's the original, as you can just see this little bit here, and this was stitched for me by Stitchy Sally. So that's up here, and then my friend Charlie Feathers did it for me for my 50th. So this is where I got my inspiration to do the one for Emma, and Charlie actually changed and put the little 50 there. So as you can see, I've done quite a similar job for Emma as Charlie did for me. And actually I had stitched that in a Jodry Designs thread that Charlie actually gifted me. Was that for my 50th? Or was that little Charlie gift in the post? I can't quite remember. And actually it's in this pile here somewhere. I can't remember the name. But it's here on my big, so I will tell you what colour I used. It was this one. It was called Love You Lots. So absolutely gorgeous variegated thread there. So that was an FFO. Yay! I got one in for 2025. So very pleased with that. And I also actually had another fully finished object. But this isn't quite, this is more of an embroidery one rather than a cross stitch. It was also Charlie's birthday. And this was a embroidery stitch that I'd had in my box of doom for a while actually, but I hadn't quite finished it, and I'd kind of had it in mind for quite a while that it would be gifted at some point to Charlie, and I decided to add on the friends bit at the bottom, and also I have stitched a little 40 and one of the little fans that one of the girls is holding, and made it into a project bag. So this is a pattern. It was in a book by Quilter by Rosalie. I knew I had to get the book because I was going to butcher her name. It was Rosalie Quinlan, and she's an Australian quilter. And it was in this book, and I have had this book for quite a long time. I've definitely had it before Felicity was born, so it is over 15 years old. And it has got some beautiful things in it. Just let me find you. So I've done this stitch. I've done it before actually. I did it for one of my friends, who I'd make quite a lot for. Typically, I can't now find it. Oh. There it is. It's slightly different. That the friends is actually at the top and it's best friends when I've done mine at the bottom, but an absolutely gorgeous stitch. And I know I stitched it in DMC 777 because that was certainly not the called for colour. I think the called for in here, they've done it in 304, but actually I stitched quite a lot of things in kind of reddy pink colour. Before Felicity was born, I was doing a lot more quilting, a lot more applique, and 777 was definitely my favourite colour. And I bought quite a lot of skeins of it back in the day, and I still probably have about 6 or 7 skeins of it. So yeah, it's a great colour. But that's a lovely book. Some really nice things in it. So it was really good to be able to get something out of my box and personalize it for one of my friends and make something. So happy birthday to Emma and happy birthday to Charlie. So finishes. Oh gosh, I really thought I was organized today, and yes, this has just been popped in the box of doom, this finish, and yeah, grabbed it. So my first finish for Flosstube today, because I've got 2, is Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is Big Stitch Big Tree. So I'm so pleased with this. This is the exclusive that was for Big Stitch 2024 in Rotherham, designed by Jacob, and I've stitched this on, it's on a 36 count fabric by Fabrics by Crafty Kate. It was a fabric of the month, and it's a very pale, don't know if you can quite see it in this light, it's actually very pale. That's probably a bit more true to how it is. A very pale pink, and I've stitched it with the most amazing coloured threads from Cottage Garden Threads. So the pink is zinnia, and then I've stitched the birds and the reindeer at the bottom in Midnight, which is a colour from their new Daydream range. So I loved stitching this. I got to a point where I just could not put it down. I couldn't put it down. Just, it was wonderful. So hopefully I can get that finished. I think whether I do it in a frame or whether I do a kind of make it into a cushion but don't stuff it so it's flat, and then get a hanger to hang it on. That's how I'm quite enjoying finishing things at the moment. Yeah, so pleased with that, so pleased with that. And then I had another finish. You got a nasty view of my face just then when I bent down to get it, because I'd also popped this in the box of doom already. This is Easy Peckings. So as you can see, it's not been ironed. Easy Peckings from Cosford Rise Stitchery. And I've stitched this on a 40 count light mocha, and I stitched it with a mix excuse me, a mix of the called for fancy flosses and DMC, and it's really lovely. I finished this last week. It's a little bit bittersweet actually, because we had 4 chickens. So we got our 4 chickens beginning of 2021, and sadly the last one that we had, Snow, passed away last week. So I kind of had to get this finished in a little bit of a memory for her, and she was white with bits of black on her tail. So this is going to be a really nice kind of reminder. So I had a little conversation with Charlie Feathers actually this morning, because she'd sent me a picture of a lovely chicken stitch, and I was like, oh, it's lovely, but I kind of don't feel I want to stitch chickens anymore. And I have still got some lovely chicken charts, and I'm lucky I have actually got a couple of friends that have got chickens, so there no doubt will be some chicken stitching, but I think it probably will now be gifted, and I still will enjoy all the, I mean, I definitely will keep this one. I think this one will be framed, but I think the chicken wall perhaps will also have some other things added to it as well, so it's not just solely chickens, because I still like them. They're still lovely animals, and you know, I like to think maybe when Simon and I retire and we, you know, take life a bit more easy, and you know, maybe don't live in this house and we have more space outside that the chickens can destroy, maybe go and live near a lane on Anglesey, because it's beautiful up there. You know, maybe we'll have chickens another time, but you know, for now, in this house, really, the garden, it's not as practical, and you know, our garden is quite muddy and ruined now thanks to the chickens. So you know, I think a bit of time, having a bit of a slightly easier life, not having chickens, and perhaps later when we've got a bit more time and we've retired, that's something we'll think about again, because they're just lovely. I loved having them. Obviously they had a bonus of the eggs, although I think the last time we had an egg from any of the chickens was last summer. So it's just the way it is. As they get older, they stop laying. So yeah, that's a dream and an aspiration. So those are my finishes. So as you can see, quite busy. I got to the point where I just had to finish the Modern Folk Embroidery one, because I couldn't put it down. It was just a wonderful stitch. So I have had some starts, sometimes more successful than others. So last night I decided to start a wonderful chart that has been designed by Yasmin Made with Love, and it's called Every Child, and it is actually a charity chart. So it's a chart that Yasmin's designed for Charlie Feathers, and Charlie is fundraising to help repair her daughter's kindergarten. So we had another storm. We've had a few. I think the storm before this one that's coming unfortunately destroyed the roof of the kindergarten that one of Charlie's daughters goes to. It was very windy and a tree fell, and yeah, did quite a lot of damage. So the lovely Yasmin designed a chart which Charlie could give away for a donation on her Kofi page. So I'll pop a link below if you want to go and have a look at that and donate. Charlie messaged me last night. She's really close to her target. She wanted to raise £1,000 for the kindergarten. Their target is actually £10,000, and I know Charlie hasn't shared the Just Giving page for the kindergarten, because she obviously doesn't really want people to know where her daughter goes to school, but obviously we're quite good friends and we work together as well, so I have seen that. So I know that the kindergarten have raised about £3,500 and their target is 10. So they've still got quite a bit to go. So it'd be absolutely amazing if you haven't got the chart and you really would like to stitch it, or even if you just would like to donate to pop to Charlie's Kofi and make a donation. Up until next Friday, so Friday the 31st of January, it's actually amazing. And this shows the amazing community that we have, absolutely amazing community we have as stitchers, that Charlie decided to do a kind of giveaway for anyone who donated, and there'd be a giveaway of some of her things that she sells. And amazing, just absolutely fantastic. A whole load of other people that sell stuff in the community then said, actually, we've got something that we would like to donate that you can put into the prize pot. So there's an amazing amount of prizes for anyone that donates to have been the opportunity to win. So Yasmin has donated a project bag and chart of your choice. Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery is donating a £25 gift voucher. Marie at Swan Bay Fabrics is donating a fat quarter of fabric. Letitia at Corrie's Little Shop is donating a £25 gift voucher. Pauline at Sobe Bags is donating 2 project bags, so 2 chances of winning a project bag there. Laura at Cotton and Clay is donating a £25 gift voucher. Charlie is offering 3 opportunities to win a floss drop set and a needle minder, and also 5 opportunities for a 20% code off for her shop on Kofi. And so all of this is for anybody that donates before next Friday, which is Friday the 31st of January, and you could be in with winning one of those amazing things. So I had a start on the chart last night. Well, it ended up being a bit of a disaster. I made, as you see, I made a teeny start on this fabric. Now this was a 32 count antique white. Not sure where I bought it. I think I might have bought it on eBay. And as you can see, it's very stiff. And I stitched 1 stitch wrong and had to frog it. I stitched 1 stitch too many, had to frog it. And as I did so, my DMC thread that I was using just completely shred. And I was, and you know, it's 32 count, and it was my needle. Bearing in mind I normally stitched 36 count and 40 count, was just not going through these holes well at all. And I just thought, that's how much I did, and I did not enjoy it at all. I did not enjoy it at all. So I just thought, that's it. That's going out the window. So that one got put to one side, and I started again, and I had a lovely piece of fabric, not sure what colour. I think this is one that I was gifted by Thea, and I thought that's just the right size, because actually I made a decision I was going to stitch just the flowers. I wasn't going to stitch the writing, and I thought, yeah, it's just about, it's wide enough, and it's definitely long enough. Started, and actually it's the first time I'm using Markup XP. Really pleased with myself. Managed to get the pattern loaded, managed to get the colours, the keys in there, the symbols, the DMCs. Managed to change some of them because I didn't have all the threads. Stitched quite a bit, and then realised I'd made a huge boo-boo, that the bottom part of the chart, I looked and thought, oh, it's funny, isn't it, that, there's just one butterfly that's half poking up at the bottom of the chart. You don't stitch all the butterfly. Then looked at the front of the chart kind of half an hour later and thought, oh, there isn't a half a butterfly, there's a whole butterfly. And I'd not stitched the very bottom band, which was on a different page on Markup. Yeah, I'm not starting it again. I am going to have some artistic license, and I hope Yasmin doesn't mind. I'm sure she won't. It'll be a Sally interpretation, and yeah, I'm not starting again. So there's a band across here with a butterfly. I might raise the butterfly up a bit and not stitch the band, but I'm a bit cross with myself. That's the way it is. And I mean, the colours are beautiful for this. Absolutely gorgeous. I had to make some substitutes. I didn't have all the colours. And actually, I don't know if I've got them all there. Oh, I think there's black and white as well to go in there. They are lovely. However, I showed you this. I did show you this kind of, this bundle of beautifulness here is all my kind of threads that, a lot I've been gifted, some I've bought, because I'm like, oh, I just like that. So I think, yes, I mean, that's a little Valdani that I bought from Corrie's little shop at Stitch in London. I was like, I just want to try it. So I bought one. But quite a few of these have been gifted, and as you know, I'm a pinks and purples fan, so you can see there's lots of pinks and purples in there. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to use these, and I'm just going to, you know, the flowers don't need to be, you know, if Yasmin's designed 2 flowers in orange, I don't need to have those 2 flowers the same colour. I can make them. So I've got all these beautiful kind of a mix of cotton and mix of silks. Actually, I've just thought, you know what, I'm just going to pick these and go, just do it as I go. So that's what I'm potentially going to do. And actually, quite a few of these are ones that I have been gifted by Charlie. She's also a pink and purple lover, so I think it would be really nice to have that in kind of Charlie colours, because it will remind me of her. And I think what I probably will also do, because as you can see, I did start stitching down to see, you know, I'd left, I thought, quite a good margin. I thought this was the bottom, so it was quite a good margin at the bottom. Have started stitching down the bit that I've missed. What I probably would do, I think I'm going to sew with the machine a piece of fabric on the bottom here, and just see how far down I can get. And the plan really probably was that I would stitch it into a project bag and have it as the front of a project bag. So all is not lost. Just might not be quite as it should have been, but there we go. So please do go and have a look at Charlie's Kofi. It's a Kofi site. It's a great little fundraiser, and it's a lovely lovely chart. So there we go. Next new start was, so this is Plum Street samplers, and it's the pomegranate Santa. There we go. And this was kindly gifted to me for my birthday last year by the lovely Emma, so Emma S Stitches, and she gifted me the called for fancy floss as well, and she also made me a project bag. So it's the project bag that it came in as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to put that on my knee so I can put it all away once I've shown you. So this is how far I've got, and actually I'm stitching this on a 36 count country vintage mocha, and I don't know why, but I started in the bottom left. I think it's because I'd thought, let's try and get this snow, there's quite a lot of snow at the bottom, get that kind of outlined, and then that's really great for stitching when I'm on a Zoom or something like that. So that is a great start, and you can see there's Rudolph there. I just haven't stitched his red nose yet. So that's a lovely start, and I think that's one I'm going to enjoy. And if I can get it stitched for Christmas 2025, I will do. I will do. There we go. So those are my 2 starts. Whips. I have a few whips. I have been busy. And of course I am stitching. One of the things that I'm concentrating on this year is the British stitchers, British designers that we have. So I'm using the hashtag Best of British Sal, and just trying to shout out as many of the wonderful designers in the UK that we have, because we're really lucky to have them. So first of all, my first whip is Cabin in the Woods, and that's by Flossabilities, and this is my progress so far. I will pop a picture just to show you where I got to last time, I'm stitching this. So actually this one's on Pattern Keeper, and I'm really enjoying Pattern Keeper. It's making a huge difference. I love knowing how much I've stitched and how much I've got left to stitch. It's wonderful. Yeah, I just think I need to get used to markup a little bit more. So I'd love to know actually which do you prefer using. I know that I was talking to somebody at Cheshire Stitchers, I think it might have been Susie, who said she preferred markup because it showed you kind of how many, it gave better data, and she really liked that. So yeah, let me know what you think, and any tips for kind of using them or anything. Yeah, that would be great. I'm not struggling, but I am a little bit. So here we go. Here is Cabin in the Woods by Flossabilities, and I'm stitching this on 40 count fabric from Swan Bay Fabrics called Mansfield Stone. I think it's gorgeous. I was a little bit worried that maybe the top colour of the tree was not quite dark enough on the fabric, but actually I think once all the trees are in, it'll look lovely. I think actually it looks better in real life than it actually looks on there. I can't quite see it on there, but it's great. And I'm stitching it, I am stitching it with the called for DMC, so I have debated, maybe for one of them, another tree, I might change the colour, but we'll see. They are beautiful set of colours. I think this is a great design from Lauren, and of course her brother Sam, who helps her. Or I think, does he do the artwork and Lauren then translates it to cross stitch? Not sure, I'll have to ask her. So that was whip number 1. My next one is also a best of British, and this is Springlock Lane by from the Old Barn Stitch Company, and so it's designed by Sammy at Little Loops, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm really loving the colours. Just so we've got elderberry in there from Cottage Garden Threads, and bejeweled from Classic Colourworks, and they're just, I haven't stitched them. We've got Vintage Rose as well, but I haven't stitched any of that yet. But those colours are just gorgeous, and this is my progress so far. So I have got quite a lot of that house done. Let's just get the board on that actually, just it might be a little bit. Better. As you can see, the green, that's bejeweled, and then the blue at the top, that's the elderberry. Absolutely gorgeous colours. So quite a lot of that house done. So some good progress. Quite a big chart actually. I think Cabin in the Woods, I think I'm practically at 20% on that one. As you can tell, I can tell. This is a paper chart I've got from of this one, and actually, but it is big. There's a lot of stitching in that. You can see there's the house, but you know, all this border here and then all the border around there. It is beautiful though. And I'm stitching this with Keely from who's Cakes and Stitches on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm stitching on a 36 count light mocha, and pretty much I'm using either the called for fancy flosses, or I've made the substitute with the DMC that's been suggested. And then, so those are my 2 British ones, and then I have 2 from Whip Go. So this is the first year that I am participating in Whip Go because I have enough whips to do so. I started 2024 with about 5 whips, so it wasn't really an option because obviously I had my massive year of 50 new starts last year. So I've come into 2025 with 22 whips. So I've been able to put some of them on my Whip Go board, which is great. And this month, so for January, number 11 was called, which I put Remember Me by Teresa Koga. And this is my only project that has rolled over from 2023. Everything else that I started 2024 with as a whip I've now finished, so it's just this one that is still outstanding. And I will have popped a picture to show you where I was last time, and this is where I am now. So I'm stitching this on a 40 count. I think it's a vintage cream, and I have stitched a bit more of the house. I've started on the flowers coming up here, and I've stitched, I don't think I'd done these birds here at all. The light isn't, that's better, isn't it? I think if I get too close to you, the light's not that great. So this bird here, and then I've stitched along here as well. So it's still, I think, you know, I feel that this has been really slow progress. I think probably because starting in the middle is actually it's really stitch dense with that house, with the fence, with the tree. There's a lot of stitches in small space, and I think once I kind of get past that and start expanding out, actually it will start to go a lot quicker. But yeah, so for Whip Go, I decided to stitch on every project that I've got on my Whip Go board. I will stitch on for 5 sessions in that month, and so far I've stitched on for Remember Me for 3 sessions. It is a 40 count, so it is one that I have to stitch upstairs where I've got my light, and just finding it easier with my magnifier. So I've tried to do this on weekends where I perhaps get a bit more time upstairs to stitch. So I've still got 2 sessions to do, and obviously a week to do them in, which is absolutely fine. That won't be a problem at all. And then the other call was number 20. My number 20 I had as Americana Blue. Now I have been watching Nicole Spohr, who has been stitching this as her blessing sampler. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's the only thing she's stitching at the moment, or maybe she stitches really, really quickly, but she is making such progress on this. I think the first time she showed it, she'd stitched about the same amount that I had last time you saw it. So I'll have popped a picture up there. But now she has stitched all of this top bit, and I think she stitched this row here, and she's down to the quilt. She will get it finished, I think, by the end of January. It is amazing. It's amazing how much she's done. I'm stitching it with Cottage Garden thread, Labelle, beautiful blue. And here we are with my progress. So I did have to frog this a little bit. So I had got on these doodahs along the top, I realised that I was a thread out, so they weren't on the right thread. So you could see kind of here above the scissors, I think it's when I got above the scissors, I realised that the threads obviously weren't in line. So I ripped it out as far as I needed to, and then realised that actually that line wasn't in the right place anyway. And I don't know if here I've miscounted here, but is it there I've miscounted? I can't remember, but actually I've thought, God, it's such a big piece of fabric this. I've just thought that doesn't matter, as long as they kind of are in line, it's going to be fine. So actually this whole kind of top bit here I think is a stitch out somewhere, but actually when I get down to this line here, which I've stitched all of this since you last saw this, and these, I think I've done the buttons. This row is now in line with the border here, and I think Sarah had said about this border that she really didn't like it, and actually I don't either, but I've really enjoyed the scissors and the buttons and these, and I've got the pin cushion here. Yeah, so actually really enjoying this. It's on a 36 count fabric that I was gifted in part of an exchange by my friend Catherine, who's Trin Kitty, and it's from those missing stitches. And actually this is a great one to stitch on downstairs because it's 36 count. I can see it really easily just sat in front of the TV. So this is one that I can stitch anywhere really. And so again, Whip-Go wanted to get 5 sessions on it, and I've done 3 on it so far, so that's another 2 sessions to go before the end of the month. But I think I'm actually really inspired by Nicole's stitching, and if I carry on and do more on either of them than 5, that's fine. They both are, because they're big projects, I've put them on the Whip-Go board twice, so at some point during this year they will come up again. But no doubt, I'm not only going to get them out for Whip-Go, I'll probably get them out at other times as well when I want to stitch on them or I haven't touched them for a while. So there we go, quite a bit of stitching. It's good to be getting some of the things done on those big projects, and I've made an effort not to start too much. I've only had 2 starts. But I have got some more coming up. I'm trying to slow down. I had committed to start this one. So this one I'm starting, I think, at the end of the month. So this is Find Joy, again part of the Best of British Sal. I'm stitching this with my friend Whitney, who's Crafty Whitney. It's a Yasmin's Made with Love pattern. I may change the colours. I may again raid my ring of, just these are all such beautiful colours, and because they're unusual, they're not things that are called for in charts, so I don't want them to just sit here and not be used. So I think just I need to have a sit through and have a think and have a look if I could change the colours on that, just to get them used. And I think try and be a bit creative. So that's that one. And then 1st of February, really excited, I did show you this last time, the Cotton and Twine subscription box. I was really kindly gifted this and asked by some friends if I'd like to join in with a stitch along, so I'm doing that with definitely Marie at Stitches and Diamonds, Charlie at Charlie Feathers, Kim at Stitchy Squirrel, Michelle at Cheesecake and Cross Stitch. We're all definitely doing it. I'm not sure, Samey Sarah may be doing it with us as well, but there's definitely we are, I think, going to split this and do it over 4 weeks starting on the 1st of February. So beautiful kit. That's just a reminder, 32 count linen, and then the beautiful colours. So really looking forward to starting this. You can still buy this up until tomorrow, so January the 25th is the last day that you can order the box to come. Well, and hopefully for those of you in the UK, it should be with you in time to start the stitch along on the 1st of February. Obviously if you're abroad it might take a little bit longer to get to you, but I'd love it if you could join us, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So that is from it's the Cotton and Twine subscription box, which is done by Historic Sampler Company, and it's a monthly subscription box. I think if you can get it with either Ada, which is £20 a month, or linen, which is £22 a month plus postage. And once you subscribe, you get to see what the box is or what the stitch is the month before, so you can decide whether you want to order it or not, or you can pause that month. Really flexible, so go and have a look. I will pop a link below down there. What else do I have to tell you? Oh yes, and that is designed, this one is designed this month by Emma Congdon from Stitchrovia. So it's just beautiful. I think for the spring it's beautiful, it's colourful. Stitching my way to happiness, that's me, that's absolutely me. So really lovely. So those are my two plans for the next week or so. I've had some lovely stitchy kindness. So I know I've said a couple of times that I did a Secret Santa with some of my friends, and I had the most beautiful Christmas decorations sent by Ruth, who is Country Gal. I always get the number wrong, 857 on Instagram. So many of you know lovely Ruth, because she does love commenting on people stitching on Instagram. So you probably have come across her, but she's so lovely. And I got I got beautiful gifts for her for my Christmas tree. And we were going to have a Zoom with the group of friends that we did the Secret Santa with, and the night before I suddenly woke up in the middle of the night and went, oh my god. One day I'd been working and had said to Simon and Felicity, right, the Christmas tree and the decks need to go away. I'd been working, they'd put everything away, all into the loft, and I was like, oh my goodness, the decorations are in the loft. And they're still in the loft. I haven't managed to persuade Simon yet to go and get them out. But Ruth did send me a picture, because she'd taken one of the gifts she'd stitched before she sent it to me, and this is a lovely little Christmas stocking. I think it's designed by JBW, and then she'd also done me a little one of the Foxwood Crossing little sleighs, and I think there was a cardinal on there which matches as a partner to another one that she's done for me before. So they're up in the attic with all the Christmas decorations, but when I get them out at some point I will properly show them to you. Ruth also sent me some Stitchy gifts. So she sent this gorgeous Pirate and Robin, beautiful coloured thread. It's called Sugar Plum Fairy, and just the most beautiful purples, really lovely variegation to that. So I'm really pleased with that. That will go in on my ring and no doubt be used in the Yasmin chart. She sent me some gorgeous little scissors. These are lovely little, and they're really sharp, which is great. And if you can remember, we'd been talking about, and hopefully I can say this correctly, now I've decided I can't say it properly. Osnaburg fabric. And if you can remember, a couple of months ago I ordered some off eBay, and it came and it was really big. But Ruth buys this in the States and stitches on it quite a lot, so she sent me a decent amount. And actually it's lovely. I love the kind of you can see the kind of freckling in it. So it's kind of it looks quite kind of vintagey and rusticy, probably is the best word to say rather than vintagey. But it's beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to either stitching with it in the raw colour or actually dyeing some myself. Ruth dyes it quite a lot, and actually she sent me a couple of pieces that she dyed. This one is definitely, you can tell, is the same fabric. So you can see the speckles in it, and that's a gorgeous colour. Definitely something Halloweeny. It's a little bit more grungy, I think, actually in real life than it's coming up on the camera. And then this is definitely a Halloweeny kind of grey coloured. I think that's Osberg as well, but perhaps a different one to what she sent. So that's a better interpretation of the colour. So those definitely will be in my Halloween pile, I think, because they're quite kind of grungy colours. So thank you, Ruth. So really pleased with that. And then I saw my friend Anna at the weekend. So Anna has been a friend of mine for quite a long time, and she's my friend that I ski with, and we've been on a couple of holidays together. And actually she does now stitch, and she said, oh, I bought you a little present. I was like, oh, a to-do list, thank you. Do you think I need to get more organised? Is Anna more organised than me? I think we're probably about the same. We try to be, just occasionally not, but most of the time. She was like, oh no, it's a little clipboard. And I thought that'd be great for you to put a little stitch in. I was like, oh, that's a very good idea. And I think I have actually got already, I'd done this, and use it to display. There's a witchy one that I put on it, and also a snow one, Ori TM cake, monthly cake. So this is a perfect addition to my finishing box for something I think probably a little bit more springy. So thank you, Anna, that was a great idea. And I do have a couple of bits of haul. Now, I'm really trying hard not to spend too much money. As you can imagine, our holiday to New York at Christmas was very, very expensive. And yes, so I have so much stash and so much stuff that I'm trying to be quite good, actually. And you know, that wonderful box of Doom, I've just thought I've got so much in it. So, you know, if you gifted something from me this year, it's likely going to be something I've stitched. But I do get fabric of the month from West Green Loft Yarns, and the January one arrived. It's a lovely kind of neutral, really nice, which that's a 36 count, and that is a very good addition to my stash for neutrals. And then this is actually, so I haven't bought this chart recently. This is a chart I actually bought at Stitch in London, and from Marie at Stitches and Diamonds, and it's a hands-on design, and it's a vintage stitch called 2 Hexy. And I actually bought this for me, and I bought a copy for Emma, who's Emma S Stitches, and sent that with her birthday present. And so I couldn't show it to you until I'd gifted Emma hers. So I'd said to Emma, I just loved this little stitch, thought that was beautiful. And we both, Emma quilts more than I do, actually. I haven't quilted for a long time. Maybe it's something I will get back into, because I have got lots of quilting fabric. But I had been watching I think it's is it the last Homely Home, and she was doing some English paper piecing, and I was thinking, oh, I could do that would be really nice. And so I did kind of think, maybe that's a little bit of a combination of cross stitch and English paper piecing. Maybe it's a possibility. And Emma, I said to Emma, how about it? She went, oh yeah, we could do. So she might have to help me a bit, but there we go. And that's it. That rounds it all up for this week, or for this fortnight. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Oh, who have I been watching? I have actually been watching some really good Flosstube recently. I've watched Shirley at Darley Stitches, and she has been stitching Jacob's Modern Folk Embroidery Put a Bird on It, and she's stitching it on the most amazing coloured fabric. It just looks fantastic, so I'd really recommend going and having a look at that. Stitchy Rach is back. She did a Flosstube a couple of days ago, and it was lovely to see Rachel back. We haven't seen her for a while. And oh, Chris at the Camping Stitcher. I love watching Chris. She always really, really inspires me. She stitches a lot of what I love to stitch, have stitched, or aspire to stitch. So it's really good catching up with Chris. And also I caught up with Sable Stitchers. I think I'd missed about the last 3 in their videos leading up to Christmas. So I think I had a bit of a binge watch of them, actually, and caught up a little bit, which was wonderful. And of course I've been watching Nicole Spohr as well, and watching her progress on Americana Blue, which has been really good. So yes, so it's been a busy couple of weeks. I think this weekend will be got some things I need to do with Felicity, and maybe we'll be trying to keep cozy and keep away from the wind and the storm that we're potentially going to see. She was very upset this morning, actually, because school was open, because there was another local school that has closed, and she was like, that's not fair, they've closed because of the storm. Anyway, they've closed because of the storm, because actually a tree had fallen across the road, so nobody could get into the school. So that's why. But no doubt they all will be doing online learning, which, you know, COVID has given us given us the flexibility that if our children can't go to school, certainly at high school, they around here they are still having to learn, and the teachers are, you know, on at least giving them work to do. So there we go. So everybody, I hope you stay safe from, you know, I know there's all sorts of kind of weather I can't say the word anomalies. You know, we've got snow in Florida, we've got the awful wildfires in California, and just, yeah, my heart goes out to you all if you're struggling with weather that's just causing devastation. I'm thinking about you and sending love, and, you know, for those in the cold and snow, I hope you stay warm and able to get and stitch, and just yeah, I'm just praying and hoping for goodness for everybody. There we go. Please do go over and support Charlie Feathers for that storm damage, and enjoy your stitching, and I shall see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye bye.